right now, Jesse?
I'm in Marbella, Spain. I just
Jesus.
came back from Marrakesh. Yes, I'm about to go back to the U.S.
Right now,
soon.
Jesse?
I'm in
Yeah.
Marbella, Spain. I
Jesus.
just came back from Marrakesh. Yes, I'm about to go back to the U.S.
Right now,
soon.
Jesse?
I'm in Marbella, Spain.
What do you want?
Guys, I think I hear myself double. Yes,
It
Yeah,
just keeps repeating it.
I'm about.
I'm trying to
Okay.
mute some things. I got a
Okay.
couple things open, but I
Okay.
don't.
It should be good now. I don't hear myself anymore, so we're fine.
I don't either. I did hear an
Okay,
echo.
so
for
we're
a minute,
live
but
on YouTube right now.
Cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
What's up,
Okay.
brother?
What's up, everybody? I'm gonna start now TikTok too, so we have both. There we go. And we're gonna start with a little clip, a little update on, so everybody is in the loop of what's been happening, why Joe's appeal has been denied. So welcome everybody, YouTube, TikTok. We have an amazing panel today, and I'm very excited that you guys are here. Before we start, I think we should do like a little introduction to kind of like refresh the memory, who's who, and maybe JT, if you could start, and then we go down.
Yeah, sure, no problem. My name is JT Barnett. I'm a TV producer by trade. I worked on the original Tiger King pilot with Joe, and then have stayed in contact on and off over the years. But yeah, other than that, that's about it. I live in Dallas, but today we have Reinke here.
I am here.
Yes.
So let's hear from Reinke.
Yeah, I'm John Reinke. I was the manager of that facility that Joe had for 14 years, and still friends with Joe. I'm one of the few people that stuck behind him on this and know that he's innocent for sure. So
I love that, man.
Absolutely.
yeah.
I'm just letting everybody know on TikTok, guys.
Yeah, get him in here. Get him in here.
Yeah, if you want me to answer your questions, come to YouTube. Or if you just want to because I cannot do both. That will be too much. Okay.
Right. Yeah, I think if we feed everything to the YouTube, because
Yeah.
I also went live from Joe.
Yeah.
So Joe's live as well.
Okay. So
Yeah, I'm not smart.
I'm sure they're like, who the hell is Joe's live? There's 600 people instantly tuned in.
there's so many lives going on right now. Okay, this is amazing.
But go to the link on YouTube.
Yeah. So right
Is where
now, we're gonna refresh a little bit, like we just did. Also, what's been going on? Joe Exotic's appeal has been denied, and then we're gonna elaborate on that a little bit. We have about 20 minutes for this live. So if you have specific questions, JT, can you review the questions from there or not?
Sure, I will help. Help
Okay.
us all review the questions. No problem.
That's good because I don't see any of them. So
From the YouTube, correct?
From the YouTube. Yeah, the TikTok is going crazy. I don't know about Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
so
Okay.
No
so
problem.
when we meet Mr. Jesse 1-on-1, huh?
What? Mr. Jesse 1-on-1?
When do we get to meet you?
Ah,
One-on-one.
yes.
Face to face.
When I get back to the US, I want to do like a meetup, and we should do this all together. And like honestly, I really miss it, especially the south of the US. I lived in New York City for 1.5 years, and I gotta tell you that the culture in the south and the hospitality and the people and the family-oriented mindset and the patriotism is like nowhere else in the world. And I miss that. I genuinely miss that. So I look forward to going back to the US and do my trip again, honestly.
Good deal.
Yeah.
We look forward to meeting.
Awesome, man. So I'm gonna play this clip. I hope everybody can hear it, and then this has been like kind of like why his appeal has been denied, and then there's a reaction to that from Joe Exotic.
A U.S. appeals court hands down a ruling for Joseph Maldonado Passage, better known as Joe Exotic. You'll remember he's the former owner of the Greater Wynnewood Animal Park in Oklahoma and the star of the hit Netflix series Tiger King. Well, now he's serving a 21-year sentence for a murder-for-hire conviction against big cat rival Carol Baskin. And that's what this decision is about, as News 4's Caitlin Ogle explains. Well, Joe Exotic and his legal team were hoping to get 8 years knocked off of his sentence. We spoke to Carol Baskin, who says she's not surprised the appellate judges upheld the sentence.
I think he is exactly where he belongs, and it's such poetic justice that he's now being kept in a cage about the same size as the ones that he bred so many of those big cats to live in for their entire lives.
Carol Baskin tells News 4 she feels safe after the U.S. Court of Appeals 10th Circuit affirms Joseph Maldonado Passage's 21-year sentence. In 2018, the former owner of the Greater Wynnewood Animal Park was federally indicted on 2 murder-for-hire counts against rival big cat activist Carol Baskin. One count was for hiring a hitman, the other for working with an undercover FBI agent. In August, Joe Exotic's attorneys argued the counts should be grouped together, knocking off 8 years.
But then the court said, explicitly to me, asked whether or not he could run counts 1 and counts 2 consecutive or concurrent. And in fact, you can't run them consecutively because it will violate due process.
In an animated YouTube video, Joe Exotic says then it was a waiting game.
And then I guess we're going to sit around and wait for a while until we get a decision so I can go back to Oklahoma and probably just get screwed over again.
Until December 23rd, when the appellate judges affirmed the sentence, saying the 2 plots had the same goal in mind and should be punished separately. Writing, quote, although they shared a common target, evidence indicates the hitman shared little else, and that they, quote, received different instructions at different times, and they had entirely separate rewards. Meanwhile, Baskin says there have been many hits on her life by other alleged animal abusers.
Most of them a whole lot smarter than Joe Exotic. I think he was just the easiest one for them to capture and put behind bars.
Now she hopes those involved in these 2 hits will also be brought to justice.
I really hope that they all end with the same kind of justice that sees them living out the rest of their lives in cages.
Baskin says she expects Maldonado Passage's attorneys to file more appeals, something she calls nonsense. We reached out to Joe Exotic's attorneys, but we did not hear back.
Okay, guys. So, could you elaborate a little bit on what we just saw?
Holdit es un software.
Yeah,
I thought it was just way too much crazy Carol Baskin. Like, I tuned out like halfway through it. It's the chick who put her husband in the meat grinder or whatever. Like, I can't even take her seriously.
How did she even? I mean, she went all the way through Congress and all the way to the president with that bill, and she's a suspect in that damn disappearance. So how does that happen? I mean, it's all one-sided on Carol, that's for sure.
Yep.
I'm just like, where are we now though? Like, honest, like, is there going to be a new appeal? Like, where are we in this process?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why the attorney hasn't already filed. I mean, it's, what are we, 15 days into the new year, and it's supposed to happen. This month is supposed to happen. I would have thought it would have already happened for the new appeal. And, you know, there's a couple other lawsuits that we're going to try and get going too that I think we should be on top of. As a matter of fact, I'm going to call him this week and find out what the holdup is because, you know, Peacock come out with that fiasco that Carol paid for and just makes me just look like a total drunk dumbass all the time. And I mean, I'm just livid on how they made me look like him. And Joe, too, made him look bad.
Right.
But, yeah, we got to find out. We got to get with Mr. JP and find out why he hasn't already started this, or is it going to start really soon?
How much contact do you have with Joe right now? Like, how?
A little bit. I don't want to say how much because that's, I'm afraid to say how much I talk to Joe. But me and Joe are still on good terms. We've always been friends. I mean, I lived with the guy for a long time. You know,
longer than anybody.
Yeah,
it's crazy. They never even called John as a character witness this whole trial. He went down there every day. He ran the park and lived there and knew more than anybody.
You know, they called me and told me they were dismissing me from being called in to the trial because they were 110% confident they already had a conviction. And this was a week before the trial was over because I wasn't allowed to go watch the trial until they dismissed me. And they dismissed me right at the end. They said we were 110% confident.
Well, and now we know, you know, since the launch of the series and everybody, it's very evident that it was a hit job and you know, trapped and set up by the con man.
You know, admitted that they were trying to kill Joe. I mean, they even went and found The Wire. I mean, they got on the property, found the wire that they were going to put across the trail that Joe hauled butt down on that four-wheeler to take his neck off, take his neck. They admitted to all that,
It's crazy to me. The character witnesses, the guy whose testimonies they used to convict Joe with, have since signed statements saying they perjured themselves, and these are false statements.
And they were felons. They were felons,
Right.
Felon. Eric Cowie was a felon. Eric Cowie was drunk when he was on the stand. So, I mean, that was just crazy right there.
Every day.
Yeah. And eventually he died from alcohol poisoning.
Oh my
So
God.
weird.
But we have all this evidence, these affidavits, and we have everything, and still the appeal is denied. He's still in there. Like
5 years now,
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
Right? 5 years.
Crazy it's been that long already. I know it. And he's still stuck in that so-called pen that is the size of what the cats were in. Our cats were in a whole lot bigger pens than that, and it's just nuts. But, this man got convicted of a vet certificate that I filled out.
oh my
That
Right.
God,
I didn't
yeah.
mark that. The vet assistant did. But Joe had nothing to do with it. I don't even think he was in town when we had that certificate filled out, and he got some time for that. I mean,
Yep.
it was just this
And
judge.
the federal government themselves directed him to put down cats. The USD directed him to put down cats just months
Yeah.
before the FBI
Yeah.
would charge him with putting down those cats.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We humanely euthanized those cats. We never had animal abuse on that park. If I caught anybody with animal
Right.
abuse, they were gone, if not
Happy birthday.
charged.
Yeah.
So, that's some crazy stuff out there going around.
Yeah, no, the
Everybody-
park was, in that aspect, was the only people who ever abused animals were the PETA activists that snuck onto the park and tried to harm animals. or
You're
make
right.
videos. So it's just crazy.
It's
to be
crazy.
honest.
Honestly, yeah.
Lauren, they come out with Lauren and them talked about the stuff that they said that happened and didn't happen, over the cell phone thing. Lauren admitted to it that Joe didn't mail that cell phone to her. Brenda, our office lady, had that and mailed that cell phone and all that junk mail and stuff to Lauren about all that. And they accused Joe of that. I mean, that's just crazy how they lied and twisted it. But, I've seen Lauren and Jeff also set up at damn the money guy that Carol had in there to check the money out every day to do the logistics on it. And they set him up for sexual abuse on Lauren. Got him drunk. And that's just how underhanded it was.
But he's not even in the U.S. anymore, right? He's a federal informant and fled to Mexico or something. I don't think.
Man, he's been over to, I think, over to Spain, Scotland, somewhere over there. And then he's been hanging out in Mexico a lot. But, that facility in Mexico he was hanging out at, it's closed down and all them animals are being shipped somewhere.
My God.
So,
How very weird.
yeah, there's a lot.
Honestly, somebody here on TikTok just asked, when you speak to him, Jess, like, how does it make you feel and what is his current condition? Well, I can tell you this much. I get very emotional every time I speak to him. I think that it's very hard and disturbing to think about an innocent man, regardless of who he is. I think we can all relate. I don't think we want to be innocently imprisoned, and we want people to stand up when we are. And his health deteriorating, the fact that he's still in there, like we just discussed. So to answer your question, it really affects me, and it's like we are his. He really says like, you guys are my last hope, and he really hopes that everybody watching right now here on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram like make some noise, and not just during lockdown when it was entertaining and we needed it and we had a good laugh. But where are you now?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Speak out for injustice now,
Yeah.
because we don't have a justice system in America. We have a money system
Yeah.
that preys on people.
It's crazy what's going on right now. I mean, look what the president's doing. He just got caught with the same thing they crucified the president before over. It's so outlandish how they just. It's one-sided. The judicial system is, and it sure isn't against them. That poor guy's in jail for something he didn't do. He didn't pay nobody to kill Carol. There was no
Absolutely
money
not.
exchange. I don't know how they
No.
can say that he threatened, that he tried to kill.
This was a character Joe did. This was a character he did on an internet show, and this was this was entertainment they used against him. He was entrapped and set up by the con man. Like, it's all very plain too.
That much that they give Alan was for him to leave the park. He was waiting on a Social Security check or something to come in, and Joe says, "If that's all it's going to take for you to leave, I'll just give you some money now and you go on." And that's what that was about. Yeah. Me and him had that conversation before that took place. That wasn't money to go kill Carol.
Right. That's absurd.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's the story by Garrettson and the dirty wildlife guy. And then you throw into the mix a closet homosexual judge who has hated Joe for 20 years. And it's just,
he's definitely had it out for Joe.
Yep, he did. He did.
He keeps denying the appeal, and I think that's the problem. They got to get it out of Judge Polk's hands, and it's weird how the system
biased.
I know it, and I don't know how anybody else can't see it other than I'm sure
the million people outside of it.
Yeah. It's a tight circle, and we got to bust that circle. But Polk's just got his mind made up over it, and he's animal rights, and he's not going to change his mind.
Real quick, guys. Ripper Jack Media says Carol Baskin needs to be held accountable for what she's done, and Joe needs an actual attorney that's an expert in wrongful convictions.
Yeah, just I think the attorneys he's had, I think, are good attorneys.
Joe's had kick-ass attorneys. To be honest with you, including the current one and the previous one.
They're working hard.
Everybody makes mistakes, but Joe's had some of the previous attorney. I know people, but Francisco Hernandez represented the president of Mexico, Vicente Fox, when he was the president. So this is a big attorney Joe had previously, and James Phillips is doing a good job now. But
it's tough
to fight government corruption.
Yeah,
fight that
exactly. It's a constant battle, but we're not going to give up. We're going to keep trying.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely. I completely agree.
Absolutely. Sarah just made it. People are getting through TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram. Sarah, if you missed the beginning, you can watch it back, so don't worry. Christopher Baker says, taking his health problems into account, they basically gave him a life sentence. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I'm really shocked that I'm surprised Joe hasn't taken his own life because he's just been so depressed. He was done wrong. Can't get nobody to do right. The prison system sucks. I've not been in there personally, but I've seen the videos. I've seen the pictures of him, and he's not alone. There's other people in that jail wrongfully convicted. I mean, it's crazy.
Yep.
I mean, there's people getting out that's been in there 30 years and finally found out that they wasn't guilty, and that's just crazy. Don't bother my camera.
Let me see.
Yeah, we have to have some kind of justice. You need the right to your politicians. You need to contact Joe Biden. The easiest thing would be for Biden to give him a pardon.
That'd be the easiest way.
Yeah. That would be the right thing to do, though, too. He's falsely imprisoned. He's set up by con man. The people who have got him incarcerated in the first place have recanted their statements for perjury. So you've already admitted the whole thing's fabricated. There's a fucking TV show that 64 million people all over the world watch that clearly shows you how Joe was set up. And for whatever the faults it had, watch the fucking show and you're going to come away realizing Lowe's a dirtbag and Joe is set up. And you come away from the series with that. It's very easy, even for those outside of it to see. So how can the Justice Department continue to deny this? Unless the people who are there for Joe, because
we got to get past Polk. That's the problem. We keep hitting that brick wall called Polk, and Judge Polk is the whole reason why we can't move forward.
Yeah,
it's 100% taken out of his hand. So,
and you used to go to the case. He actually had civil suits in that court a decade before, right? And Joe, John, you had to go to this time. The same judge who convicted Joe criminally is the same judge who brought a suit against Joe for Carol Baskin over a decade before.
Yeah.
Like, how is that not biased?
You can't tell me somebody ain't been bought too. So
Right.
I just want
Tell
to.
me how somebody's been bought without telling me is really what that
Yeah,
tells
exactly.
I mean, we had Trump. That was a no-brainer, man. He was getting out. He was getting pardoned by Trump. I think if we Trump's donation list, there's a BCR on there somewhere. I can promise you. She paid.
No. That because you worked with the Tiger team. They made a mockery of it in episode 1 but that was a year-long endeavor that we came and worked with you, John. We shot with you. You went to the Capitol. Like there was a ton of real work and real effort that went out. And they had every indicator that, to be honest with you, I think he was going to, but then everything happened in the Capitol the same day. Like, I don't know. It's a perfect storm, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I thought for sure, I mean, Trump pardoned Lil Wayne. Soon as Wheezy got pardoned the night before, I thought, oh my God, Joe Exotic's tomorrow. They just pardoned Lil Wayne.
Right? I know it.
True. I had a comment here from Chris, who knows about Andrew Tate, and he asks me, what is the current situation? Is he going to pay for the lawyers and everything? Obviously, I'm in communication with them, but as you know, they also have been arrested now. So my last WhatsApp message has been unread, obviously. So they're dealing with their own situation right now. And so that is to be continued, to answer your question. Sarah asks, Sarah Landwer, how is his health right now? Not good. John, have you spoken to him lately?
I have. I have spoken to him. I try to keep his spirits up. Just talking to me, his spirits pick up a little bit, but you can tell he's a little thinner. He's not as perky as he usually is. It's definitely taking his toll on him in there really hard.
Yeah, I spoke to him last week, and like I said before, he really has to keep something to live for. And that's really people writing him, us fighting for him, and
absolutely.
Yeah.
All he has are the support of the fans. He's falsely incarcerated. He lost everything and everyone in his life. Like, so somebody had asked about Jesse being in here, but I'm so glad that people like Jesse from the other side of the world who can identify with the injustice done going on here and be passionate about helping push along the noise, because if nobody's making any noise, it just gets lost in the shuffle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I'm out there trying to get free Joe Exotic. Any chance I get, I'll throw a couple shirts out in the crowd or something like that. I do some appearances. I'm about the only one out of the whole deal that's doing appearances and stuff like that. But everybody,
you're the only good guy. You're one of the good guys.
I'm the good guy. I'm not the one making money like some of them got. Carol and Jeff banked on this deal. Let me tell you, they have made a lot of money off this crap.
Oh my God, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Carol alone on Cameo banked on this thing. Of all people that didn't need it, her. It's
the infatuation with the murderer is just crazy to me. The gangster.
Yeah.
He's like married to a drug dealer who disappeared and got chopped up, and like this kind of, she scares the fuck out of me. I used to not even want to be talking about her. I'm like, this is like talking about one of the Clintons. You're gonna be a fucking accident. You keep talking about her.
She copyrighted her name. If we say her name, we can get in trouble. So
Carol Baskins.
I'm still. As far as under the lawsuit, I've never been released from the first lawsuit. So
God.
I expect to knock on the door any day.
Wait, James Garrettson is here, the water ski guy. Okay.
Where is James Garrettson?
He's saying that we all have egg on our face when Tiger King 4 comes out.
Yeah, the rumor has him and Jeff Lowe are up to something. They got some show coming out or something. I don't know.
No, Jeff Lowe, I can tell you 100% because we worked with some of the largest agencies, and I still have major film and TV partners in LA, and they are getting the runaround in LA, but nobody is putting a federal informant and a con man and a rat on TV for anything other than their relation to this former mystery as it pertains to Tiger King. So...
Oh god.
But that's cool. Go cruise it's the fat man, right? On the jet ski.
Yeah,
I
it's
never
it's
actually
it's
got
the
to meet that guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's I'm glad he's joining us though every week. That's very nice of him. And I mean
He had some of the best memes.
yeah, I hope his jet ski sales are doing well. And
Yeah.
I don't know about Jeff Lowy. I heard he was in Mexico, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been out of the country for a
Yeah. while,
while. I think he stays pretty silent.
Yeah, for
I would
obvious
too.
obvious
I mean,
reasons.
it's obvious he's a federal informant. I have friends that I have a lot of Leo friends. To be honest with you, I met
Yeah.
Leo and Feds. I met through the Tiger King team, Team Tiger, including and he's bad. There's a reason that Jeff Lowe gets caught with a gun, goes around conning all these people, and doesn't have any charges.
Yeah.
And same with Garrettson. But I mean, what does he do? Like, these people are talking about TV. I did TV 10 years before Tiger King, and here 10 years later, you know, I'm still doing TV.
You're the real
yeah.
OG, and this is what people don't
Reinke
understand.
and Joe and I shot the
Yeah.
Tiger King pilot in 2013. So I don't
Yeah.
know what the fuck all these other people are doing. We're now a decade later. We did this a decade ago, before it was cool.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
You're talking to the originals here, guys. You don't understand whether you're on TikTok or YouTube. Like, honestly, these people right here, they are Joe's true original OG friends. Okay, everybody else, including myself, you know, and like we all came later. I know Joe now. We started talking 2 years ago because I was in touch with his ex-husband. And I was supporting him through his ex-husband, but my support never really came through him. It went to his ex-husband. And then Joe told me the truth, and I was like, oh my God, even the people
Oh no,
closest
he
to
was the
him.
worst. Oh my God, he did the
Yeah.
biggest money grab ever. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know who you're talking. I realize now.
You know, the people closest to him did him dirty. And then I was like,
He
nah.
wasn't for very long either. So
Yeah.
that's what the sad part is.
Yeah. His ex-hubby is a joke. Yes, that's very true. It's very true. Okay, let me see if there's a few more questions. Guys, I really like this panel. I want to do this like weekly though. This is great.
Yeah, I'd love to. We can get some more pertinent facts and things as relevant to the
Yeah.
case, because there's a lot of things progressive.
Cold Summer 91 asks, is Joe still going to run for president in 2024? Because I would definitely vote for him.
You know, it surprised me one bit. He's done it before, so it would not surprise me.
I think he will. Last time I spoke to him, he's still willing to do that, and I'm supporting.
He might as well. We don't have a whole lot to pick from, so.
Exactly. Oh, guys, yes. I want to say, guys, I appreciate you so much. Everybody that's been here, John, JT, you guys are incredible. I can't express my gratitude enough for who you are, what you represent, and what you have done and are still doing. And I really hope that we can continue this as much as we can.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, definitely.
And thank both of you gentlemen for all you do, you know, for
Thanks for
sticking by him. John's the only person who stuck by Joe. Literally the only person.
Exactly.
I
yeah.
actually had kind of filtered out the last few years. You know, I might see Joe a few times a year. We do a shoot or something, but John was there to the very end. And so for me, like, I wasn't around in 2017. And so I didn't really see what was going on. And then, so it was just as shocking to me after watching the Tiger King. So I'm glad that I was able to link back up. And, you know, the best thing people can do is contribute to Joe's commissary, write him, you know, because he has nothing. And
yeah, the letters
push
keep
the president. Joe needs a pardon.
Yeah.
Exactly.